welcome back to the channel. My name's Jake, for those that are new here. And behind me is the family's John Deere 4010. And this last fall here, we were having a little bit of problem. This thing would not stay running. So we ended up replacing the fuel pump and the fuel filters, and it still was getting about the same result. It just progressively got to where it just wouldn't start at all. We know that we're getting fuel pressure all the way up to the injection pump, and I've cracked injector lines and cranked on it, and there's just nothing there. Cranked on it for quite a while, still nothing. Let it rest for a day and then come back to it, and it would fire up and run, but the lever had to be all the way at full throttle, and it was as if it was idling, and it just slowly worked down to where it just died, and there was just nothing again. So anyways, we're pretty sure that the fuel injection pump is toast. It just needs to be rebuilt. As far as we know, it's the original one. It's never been messed with. This tractor was rebuilt as far as overhauled motor back in 03, and the injection pump tested okay then, and usually you don't have much problems with the injection pumps as long as you keep fuel going through them, which this thing probably had been run out of fuel one too many times, because that's initially what started everything. We had originally thought that it was bad fuel, but or dirty fuel. But anyways, we're gonna work at trying to get the injection pump off and get it to an injection pump shop to get it rebuilt. So stay tuned for this video. Show you how to take an injection pump off of a 4010 or even a 4020. They're pretty much the same thing. So anyways, without further ado, let's get started with the video. Alright, first things first here is I got a service manual. I bought this off of eBay. It was already in a binder. I just stuck it in a bigger binder. But anyways, in section 90 of this thing shows the diesel fuel system, and this will tell you how to remove the injection pump. If I can get it open to the correct page here. Here in group 15 of the diesel fuel section, both injection pumps, this one's for a 4020 and this one's for a 4010. They're pretty similar, but pretty much the same process as to how they need to be removed. So anyways, sand to clean, we've already pretty much done that. This tractor's pretty clean anyways. So it's saying disconnect the throttle linkage, fuel shutoff control linkage at the pump. Shut off the fuel at the bottom of the fuel tanks. We'll still need to do that. Disconnect the injection lines and remove the pump mounting nuts. But first things that we'll want to do is make sure that everything is top dead center. So we will go ahead and do that. I want to take the cover that's off the side of the transmission housing, and we'll make sure that it's top dead center. So that's the first thing that I'll do here before we get too far. Alright, here's the transmission cover here, and we're gonna undo the screws and flip this one open. Alright, you can see that there's a flywheel down in here, and we'll have to rotate this thing until it shows here at top dead center. There should be a marking somewhere that we can reference. do apologize that there's a bunch of shadowing, but top dead center is there, and there is a mark right here in the casting that I've lined that up to. The only problem is I don't know if this is top dead center on the stroke side or exhaust side, so I need to undo this to see if I'm 180 degrees off or not, which hopefully I am not, otherwise I have to make another round. But anyways, we're getting closer. Undo that screw and this screw. It's probably pretty hard to see, but there's two marks there and they're offset of each other, which I don't know if that's supposed to be that way or not. My guess is it's not supposed to be that way. But anyways, looks like we might be on the stroke side of things, but I'll check and reference the service manual before I do so. Okay, now that I understand the book a little more, they're technically supposed to have these at top dead center as far as setting them up for a 40-20, but when it comes to a 40-10, you set it to 14 degrees before top dead center, which if you get to that point, these marks actually line up. So that's what's going on there, now that I understand the book a little more. And now I'll just go ahead and put the motor back to top dead center, and then we know where it's at and we can reference from that point on. All right, there's the injection pump off. That was kind of quite a chore to get everything just right. Get that thing pulled up out of there. But anyways, I'm gonna cover things up and then call it quits for the day and see if we can get this injection pump rebuilt. All right, we're back here in the shop. Got the injection pump rebuilt. So we're gonna stick it back on here. Got everything left in place like it was left. So we're gonna move the flywheel to where it's on top dead center right here as the mark. And we'll go from there.
Well, we undone an antifreeze line over there, coolant line, whatever you want to call it. So we know this thing's going to need a little more antifreeze back in it because we kind of made a mess under here. So crawl up here, get some antifreeze back in this thing. I'm gonna grab another bug jug, I guess. I'm thinking she was a little low before we made the leak. So I thought that would have filled it up.
You want to run it hot?
Oh, now I see it. That's probably good enough. I don't think I want it tip-top full, but I can see her covered all the cores in the radiator for sure, so ought to be sufficient enough. Get this crazy cat back on. Get that on.
All right, try number 2.
Fuel dripping out, so I think she can.
Well, as you can see, she runs once again, which is a good thing. So it's definitely the injection pump. So next thing that we're going to do is we're going to tear into here to where we can actually have the hand throttle stay in place, because right now we are using a bungee cord that anchors to here to help kind of keep everything in place. So we're going to tear into that and see what we can do to either tighten up the deal that is supposed to put a little resistance to it, or maybe we have to replace it, but we're gonna investigate here. So for now, I'm gonna put the cover back onto the flywheel, just so that's back on there. There's all kinds of clutch dust. I don't know when's the last time.
Yeah, that was supposed to be this past winter's project.
When they rebuilt this, did they put a new clutch and PTO clutch in?
I don't know that. I don't remember on the paperwork.
It'd be interesting if they did at that time or not.
I don't remember that on paperwork. I didn't really think about that part of it. I was just seeing what all it's been done to the motor. When they tested the injection pump then, and said it was good and all the injectors were good, so they just did the engine.
Yeah.
Near as I can tell on paperwork.
All right, it has been a few days and we tore into this dash a little bit more, and we're going to replace the bolt that is right here. This goes into basically a clamp, and there's a fiber bushing down in here, and this is supposed to clamp down and put some pressure to keep our throttle in place. So I'm gonna try to weld a nut onto here and see if I can get it to back out. If so, well, we'll be in business. If not, well, we're gonna have to take the steering wheel off, and as you can tell, it's been on there a few days. But I also took the time and shot a little paint on this here injector pump. This was all silver, and I took the time and made it look a little better. Granted, there's probably a little bit of overspray on certain things behind, but it looks better than what it did, and it won't rust that way. And I also went ahead and got the nuts from one angle, so make it a little better. Granted, we'd love to redo this tractor and make it look brand new again, but with it being a family tractor. But we're gonna keep using her as she is for now. She's still a workhorse on this here farm, so. Well, she's nice and warm right now. Let her cool a little bit, and we'll see if she turns out. All right, good morning, guys. I had this GoPro die on me, but I got the throttle all back together as far as up here, and we have a nice stiff throttle again, because I was able to get that bolt out, and then we had a bolt just long enough that I threaded in there and tightened her up. I also, where this vice grip is at, got the spring to finally replace that, since I broke the spring there. This is very expensive considering what it is. This is 27 bucks for just a spring, which to me seems a little outrageous, but I'm kind of disappointed that I paid that much and it's not even green. So anyways, I didn't even pay for green paint, which is kind of sad, because being that expensive, I should have paid for green paint, if you get my hint. Anyways, so this morning I'm going to work at trying to get this dash together, and also trying to get the spring back onto the location where it's supposed to be at. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do here this morning, and then we'll go from there. Alright, I don't have a lot of options here to place you guys to where you could actually see this, and I don't know if this spot's even going to work. You may just see my back of me. So anyways, so the spring anchors here and goes back to another anchor point on back, and I'm going to try to get this back in here. The reason why I broke the old one is because I was trying to pry. I was getting it close, but I was trying to pry it over, and I snapped the very end of it off. So anyways, we'll see how this goes. And if I'm struggling too much, I'll just put it to time lapse. Well, that's interesting. That wasn't even sealed. Well, they're lucky. Ooh, Bessie. She's definitely gonna be a fun one. Oh. Okay, maybe if I was around to the other side. So I can help go with that one. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, we got everything buttoned up on the tractor here, and this thing had died on me, but we got this thing fired up and she runs good. Foot throttle works and the throttle stays in place, so we achieved something there. So this thing is ready to do some hay. I do apologize if we do have it running here later on. I will get a clip of it running, but she's ready to go for hay. So here's the end of the project and also the video. We got this thing all ready to go as far as hooked onto the mower, and you'll have to see it in action in another video. Anyways, if you got to this point in the video and you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for getting to this point. And if you like this sort of content, give the video a thumbs up. And as always, we'll see y'all in the next one.